When it comes to feeling and looking radiant, everyone talks about skincare and supplements, but really the biggest needle moving practices are the body care ones that I'm sharing with you in this video today. These are the real game changers that are keeping me feeling regulated, energized, and so radiant every day. Now, I want to frame this as body care. Body care not in accordance with outdated beauty standards or whatever latest trend is going on. I'm talking about like the real, true nervous system embodiment, fully regulated body care that has you feeling radiant no matter what you're wearing, what you're not wearing, and really just carrying that through each day for sustainable energy and sustainable well being long term, not just those quick fixes that look good on camera occasionally. With my body care, I'm interested in ensuring long term vitality. I'm ensuring that my wellness and well being is coming from a cellular level right up into, I guess, what you'd say would be a more aesthetic approach to things. Like, there's a bit of muscle tone coming on into my body. But I want to provide this context because it is not about sculpting the perfect vision. It is about feeling the best within you that you've ever felt and sticking to that and staying with that kind of approach rather than what it is that you think you need to look like. I'm sharing this video with you because I have moved through my own real transformational process in the last year or so. Um, Connected to this is that I stopped wearing makeup at the end of last year, at the end of 2024. I decided to ensure that my face could get the full spectrum sunlight onto it daily. And I had been wearing sunscreen or some kind of tinted moisturizer every day. And whatever, all kinds of makeup, just because, I'm a woman and that was something that was ingrained in me. But I have shifted out of needing to wear makeup. I like a little bit of eyeliner, a little bit of brow pencil occasionally, but that has really, really helped shift my perspective from what it looks like from the outside to really just connecting in with what feels good within me. Now, and what feels good within me is to expose my face to the sun, the full circadian signals that arrive onto our skin daily. And I'll get to that point in a second. My first my first tip is the powerful workout, and I decided to keep keep my little gym gear on, my little bodysuit on from my Lagree workout. So I do Lagree here in Bali, and it's something that I've never done before I had arrived here. I had actually done Pilates a lot. I had done, you know, I've worked out quite a bit in my life, but never quite found that real soulmate exercise until I arrived here and started doing Lagree, which is a hybrid kind of workout that was developed from Pilates that combines the Pilates and the gym. The creator of Lagree, his name is Lagree, uh, he was wondering why Pilates goers had to still go to the gym. And so he actually integrated Pilates technique with gym resistance and put them together and made a baby, and that's called Lagree. And I find that this workout helps me to stay fit and toned, and really, like, I've seen body changes as a result of it without having to go to the gym. I think that's probably one of the best aspects of this is that being in Bali, and I love it so much, and I love the focus on body care here, but I'm not a huge fan of being in a gym full of influencers taking videos of themselves. It's just not something that I'm into. And so being able to still get some like really significant resistance work in my daily workouts. Not that I do Lagree daily. I should say I do Lagree 2 to 3 times a week only. And that ensures that I'm not having to live at the gym or do anything else that's like high resistance. Uh, it really does hit the mark for me. Lagree, and this is not just an ad for Lagree, by the way. Lagree also helps to release trauma. And this is my theory, is that it is something that like it's designed for you to sweat, to shake, and to be sore. But the shaking part is a really important aspect of nervous system and tension release and trauma release, because when our body shakes, if you've read Peter Levine's work, Waking the Tiger, he talks a lot about moving the body to allow for release of trauma, and particularly the shaking response. We see wild animals when they're running from prey, if they do get away, they'll shake it off. And that is a primal body response to releasing trauma. And I find in Lagree, a lot of the time, I'm shaking and letting that, like, whatever it is that's been held in my body to release. And yeah, I find this workout to be super holistic and beneficial for me on so many levels: nervous system, body shape, fitness. And yeah, it's time efficient too. So, my next crucial body care tip is massage. Massage, whether it's self-massage and I do self-massage. Uh, Self-massage, and obviously in Bali, it's more cost effective to have massages here, and I have more than I would have at home. But even when I was in Australia, I was still having massage. I was still having at least monthly massages. And I do a combination of lymphatic drainage massage, because being 43, nearly 44, I find that kind of system has become a little bit more sluggish for me. So I've got to really stay on top of that. And the yeah, the lymphatic drainage has been super, super efficient for me to do that. And the nervous system reset that I get from just general massage, general body work, and that could range from lomi lomi, sort of kahuna style massage, through to any kind of deep tissue shiatsu release massage. Uh, that just helps me to really land deep in my body immediately. So I highly recommend that. My next practice that I'm currently doing, I'm not going to lift my leg in the air, but I have bare feet, and I am pretty much constantly, if I can, I'm earthing whenever I can. I'm connecting to the earth, whether that's dipping my toes in the ocean, going for a swim when I can, walking on the beach, walking on the grass, and getting my feet on the ground barefoot when I'm working. Thankfully, my co-working space has a really, really circadian friendly uh, setup that I can go out onto the grass, or just on this concrete floor beneath me, I can earth. And this really helps to uh, helps your entire system to gain more electrons in your body and increase your redox capacity, which is your reducing oxidation. So if you can actually connect to the earth for at least a good hour or so in the daytime, you are way ahead of the game in terms of reducing, all of this stuff that's surrounding me at the moment, non-native EMFs, Wi-Fi, electricity, all of that. It really, really creates a charge in our bodies that's not good for us. It's foreign, it's non-native, it's not something that our cells recognize. So what we want to do is to reconnect, recharge on the ultimate recharge pad for us, the mother, the earth, that actually helps to defrag us from the non-native aspects of the sort of getting bombarded by this daily, uh, and letting ourselves get back into a state where our oxidative stress is dropped and our blood flows more easily. So it doesn't coagulate so much. It's flowing beautifully through our bodies. And we are able to really clear through a lot of the cellular debris that builds up in our bodies from all kinds of environmental stress. Earthing is one of those multifaceted, multifactored, beneficial practices that everyone who's made of the earth, which is us, should be doing daily. As I mentioned earlier in this video, sun exposure and circadian health is crucial and critical. And my goodness, have I seen a shift incorporating this in my life. It has been a phenomenal change to my existence. So, as I mentioned, I stopped wearing makeup earlier on, no, late last year. So it's been nearly 10 months now that I've not been wearing makeup. And also just ensuring that I'm up at sunrise to gather the sun's rays in the morning. I try and let myself be exposed during the day, and I try and see the sunset if I can at night. This is all to give my system all of the signals that it needs in order to allow for all hormonal processes to flow beautifully. Because crucially and critically, we need to remember these two things. Our body is constantly asking ourselves the questions of, am I safe and what time is it? Probably additionally, where am I? But what time is it is related to the where am I? So our body is scanning our environments constantly. And if we are letting it think that at 8 p.m. at night, with lights blasting in our house, that it is still midday, which is when there's more blue light. And the blue light generally from the household lights that we have, the blue light shining so bright on our skin makes us think that it's still midday. Our internal clocks just go all over the place, and melatonin doesn't get released. And so then that has a negative cascading effects on our hormones. So melatonin doesn't dock properly within our system. And there's a lot more of a convoluted process to this, but sort of long story short, you actually are sending signals to your body constantly of, whether you're safe and what time it is. And if you don't let it genuinely clock what time it is where you are, your whole system is going to be taking on additional stress and also not functioning properly. And it's like, it's fine if it's a day or two out of your normal routine, but this all accumulates. This is a daily accumulation of not giving your body the proper signals for it to know what time it is. Your entire system gets mucked up. And the good news is that it takes next to nothing and no time except for, some commitment to being present to what's occurring in your environment, to actually reconnect and retake and reset to a better circadian health kind of living. And that involves letting your skin see the sun. Yeah. Some other quick little game changers of body care that I am loving and that I think maybe you might love as well, and that hopefully will give you some inspiration to think about your own body care rituals. I have really loved focusing on giving myself the care that I particularly enjoy. And there are some little things like, say, head massages and hair blow dries, for instance, because the leftover hair blow dry here, they just light me up. It really, really lights me up to get my head massaged. And that, I think, finding the things that you love the most, maybe it's foot massage, maybe it's getting your eyelashes curled. Who knows what it could be, but think about what it is that you really, really love to do and incorporate that, weave that into your body care and your way of tending to yourself. Because when you tend to your animal body and make it feel safe and let it know that it's all okay, and when you feel your most beautiful and radiant, you are going to be giving that energy out into the world, and you'll see it come back to you and be reflected back to you always. So take stock of what it is that really lights you up, and it could just be something simple and maybe a little bit frivolous. Incorporate it. Let it be something that you do regularly. And finally, the last thing that I have incorporated body care wise, that's kind of body care but social, is team sports. Team sports again. I used to do this a lot as a kid, and I had dropped off into my sort of university years. May have played a little bit of social netball and did the occasional like bowling thing with people, but I haven't played a team sport in a while, and I've taken up paddle here in Bali, which, I know it's so so cliche, but there's a reason why it's so popular. It's because it's so fun. And taking up a team sport for my body care has been so great. And I mean, particularly a racket sport, like the racket sports, they've just, there's been research released that has shown that taking up a racket sport, playing a racket sport can increase your lifespan by, get this, 9 years. 9 years is the expansion on your life. And like there are varying reasons for that. Obviously, the hand-eye coordination, and your cardio fitness levels, but it's also the social connection that you have when you connect with your peeps on the court, and you play with each other. I think that also helps. So that has been a really juicy little addition to my body care that I have so enjoyed incorporating back into my life. And I highly recommend that if you feel called to do something like a team sport, that you take a look in your local area, see what kind of team sports you can get involved in. Skill levels vary, and it's often not required. It really is about getting together, having fun. I hope these tips have helped you today, that I hope they've sparked some kind of curiosity in relation to how you may like to incorporate these into your life or something similar. And if you feel called to connect into more of your energetic radiance and more into your body's health and well-being, come and join me in my program Lightgasmic. The doors are closing super soon for this round in September, begins in September 2025. I would really love to have you in if you feel called to become Lightgasmic. Link in description below. Sending so much love.